Beneath the ordinary world lies a veil, and behind it, the voices of the lost still whisper.
We are your guides into the shadows, where true crime meets the paranormal.
From chilling crimes to haunted histories, we uncover the stories that refuse to rest.
This is Veil of Echoes.
Step inside the cabinet of horrors. Behind the glass and shadows are objects that look ordinary, but each one has left a trail of fear, fire, and death. And once you know their stories, you'll never look at them the same way again. A doll, its stitched smile unchanging, watching you when you turn away. Another doll, dressed in a sailor suit, said to giggle when no one's in the room, and curse those who mock him. A wooden wine cabinet, it seems whispering in the dark. A box that may hold a restless spirit. A painting of a boy with tear-streaked cheeks, surviving fire after fire, his sorrow staring from the ashes. And a chair cursed by a murderer's dying words, promising sudden death to those who dare sit upon it. These aren't just stories. They are ordinary things, twisted into something terrifying. Tonight, the door to the cabinet of horrors are unlocked, and the objects inside are waiting.
And welcome back to Veil of Echoes. Tonight isn't one of our usual full-length episodes. This is our very first Halloween treat mini-sode.
Every Wednesday this month, we'll bring you a bite-sized stories to keep the shadows close, all leading up to our big Halloween night special.
And what better way than to kick it off with haunted objects? Dolls, paintings, chairs, boxes, ordinary things that might just hold something extraordinary.
Step carefully, because once you know their stories, you may never look at these objects the same way.
So before we dive in, I've got a question for both of you. If you could pick one haunted object that fascinates you the most, which would it be and why?
Y'all already know my answer. I'm going to let Bria answer it for me.
Annabelle?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
The more and more you tell me not to open the box, the more and more I want to open the box.
I know. It's like telling a child no. We're like, what?
It's like telling a child they can't have their Kool-Aid and then they go and get the Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
I'm not sure. I mean, if I could pick one haunted object.
It's like, have I ever thought about this?
I really haven't. I mean, when I think of being around haunted stuff, I'm like, yeah, let's check it out. But once I check it out, it's not like, let's do it again. It's like, let's move on to something else and see what it's got to tell. But if I had to go with one, I think I'd go with Robert the doll. Because
that's who I was going to
the
say.
giggles, the moving from window to window, I just keep them here to freak my neighbors out. Get home, what's up, Robbie?
Yeah.
Probably get murdered, but hey.
Yeah, he's probably my choice too. Only because I think I've known about him though, like before Annabelle.
Yeah.
I would have to say,
but Annabelle they're all creepy.
The painting of the little boy would be very intriguing because fire after fire, and he still has the streaked tear marks.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
It'd probably be one of the most, especially if it's based off an actual little boy, not just somebody's like, oh, I'm going to draw this and paint it. And if they base it off of their child or a child they saw, then in the moment, what was he crying about? Was he killed unexpectedly, murdered?
Or was he just depressed?
Right.
Yeah. Which is even worse. Like, why are you painting this little boy crying?
I know.
You took my chocolate milk from me.
Mm-hmm.
About to find out, I guess. And that's what I love about these stories. At first, it's just a doll, a chair, a painting. But once you hear what people actually went through, they stop being just objects real quick. So let's kick things off with one of the most infamous dolls in the world, Annabelle.
The museum is hushed, shadows thick around the edges of the light. In the corner behind glass sits a simple Raggedy Ann doll. Yarn red hair spilling down her faded dress, a stitched smile stretched wide across her cloth face. But the longer you look, the less harmless she seems. Her head is tilted just slightly, as if it wasn't that way a moment ago. Her black button eyes gleam in the dim light, following you wherever you move. At the bottom of the case, scraps of parchment rest like warnings. The handwriting is jagged, uneven, childlike. Help us. Save me. Donna and Angie never owned parchment paper. And as the silence presses in, it feels less like the glass is keeping you safe from her, and more like it's straining to keep her from reaching you. Annabelle's story began in the early 1970s when a nursing student named Donna received the doll as a birthday gift from her mother. Her mom had picked it up at a hobby shop, just an ordinary Raggedy Ann doll. Soon, Donna and her roommate Angie noticed strange things. Annabelle seemed to move on her own, appearing in different rooms or with her arms positioned differently. Then came the notes, scraps of parchment paper with letters like "Help us" and "Save me," written in a children's shaky hand. Their friend Lou became the next target. He claimed he woke to find Annabelle staring at him from the foot of his bed. Moments later, he was paralyzed, pinned down, and left with deep, bleeding claw marks across his chest. Desperate, Donna called in a medium who said the doll was possessed by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins. But when Ed and Lorraine Warren investigated, they warned it wasn't a child at all. It was something darker, a demonic force masquerading as innocence to gain trust. The Warrens took Annabelle and sealed her in a wooden glass case in their occult museum in Connecticut. A sign on the front read, "Warning. Positively, do not open." Over the years, Annabelle's case became more than just a display. It was a warning, and for some, the warning came too late. There was a young man who laughed at her, pounding on the glass and daring her to do something. Lorraine remembered Ed escorting him out of the museum. Hours later, his motorcycle skidded off the road and slammed into a tree. He died instantly. His girlfriend survived, but spent over a year in the hospital. To the Warrens, it wasn't a coincidence. It was Annabelle's revenge. Another time, a visiting priest stood before her case and scoffed. He tapped the glass and told the Warrens that God is more powerful than any doll. On his drive home, his brakes gave out. His car twisted off the road in a near-fatal crash. When he recovered, he admitted he had believed the doll had followed him. Other priests weren't so lucky. During a blessing, one swore he heard a deep, guttural growl rise from within Annabelle's case, a sound that froze him mid-prayer. Lorraine claimed it was the voice of the thing hiding behind the doll's stitched smile. Even locked away, Annabelle never seemed still. Ed and Lorraine often found her positioned differently than they'd left her. Hands folded one day, stretched open the next. Staff swore they heard faint knocks echoing from inside the glass, as if she was testing the barrier. Visitors reported walking away with a heaviness they couldn't shake. A sense that something had followed them out of the museum and into the night. In July of 2025, Annabelle's story darkened again. While on tour with the doll, a paranormal investigator, Dan Rivera, died suddenly in Gettysburg. The coroner called it a cardiac issue, but the coincidence was enough to fuse his name into Annabelle's legend forever. Weeks later, news broke that comedian Matt Rife and creator Alton Cast had purchased the Warrens' former home in Monroe, Connecticut, under a 5-year guardianship agreement. They are now the caretakers. They are now the caretakers of the Warrens' estate and its infamous artifacts, including Annabelle. Plans are in place to reopen the collection for tours at a new location, but for now, Annabelle remains locked away, as she always has been, watching, waiting. if y'all found yourself standing in front of her case, knowing her history, her curses, her reputation, would you get that close to her? Or would you step back from her?
I would get close.
I'm gonna straight up get close.
But I wouldn't open the door.
I would open the door. I'd be like, sorry, y'all. I want to see what this is all about. I want to know what the deal is with this doll. Let me open up the door. Just give me the keys.
Want you to, and then she'd possess your body.
Well, why not? Maybe possess me and make me become a millionaire some way, somehow. I don't know.
Just like Chucky wanted,
Fuck
Andy.
Chucky.
Andy. Little Andy.
Fuck Chucky.
Yeah, I mean, my curiosity would get the best of me, and I'd have to open it. You know, there had to be an investigation. I want to see. I want to feel it. I want to see if there's anything that I feel from holding it. Like,
Yeah.
I know the reputation. She got bad reputation, but I wouldn't be able to help myself.
Nope.
The museum in Key West is quiet. The air heavy and warm. In the center of the room, behind a glass case, sits a child-sized doll, dressed in a sailor suit. A faded toy dog is tucked under his arms. His name is Robert. At first glance, he might seem like nothing more than an antique plaything, but the longer you stare, the less harmless he feels. His face is worn, the stitching uneven, his button eyes too dark, too alive. Some swear they see his mouth twitch, or his head tilt ever so slightly when no one is looking. And then there's the feeling, that creeping certainty that he's not just looking at you, but through you. Robert was originally given to a boy named Eugene Otto in the early 1900s. Eugene adored the doll, dressing him in a sailor suit and carrying him everywhere. Soon, his parents overheard Eugene talking to Robert late at night, and a second voice answering back. Neighbors swore they saw Robert moving from window to window when the family wasn't home. Eugene's parents sometimes heard laughter in empty rooms or found household items tossed across the floor as though by unseen hands. Even as Eugene grew older, he kept Robert close, dedicating a room in his home to the doll. Some said Robert's presence consumed him, that his attachment bordered an obsession. After Eugene's death in the 1970s, Robert was donated to the East Martello Museum, where he sits today, still dressed in his little sailor suit, still clutching his toy dog, still watching. Over the years, Robert's reputation only grew. Visitors claimed to see his expressions change right before their eyes. Cameras malfunctioned when pointed at him. Others swore they heard faint giggles when the museum was empty. And then there's the curse. The museum is lined with letters, desperate apologies sent from people who snapped Robert's photo without asking permission. They write of accidents, breakups, sudden illness, streaks of terrible luck, all begging for Robert's forgiveness, pleading with him to lift the curse. Today, Robert remains one of Key West's most popular and feared attractions. Staff still insist he moves when no one is watching. Visitors whisper apologies before taking photos, terrified of leaving without his permission. Even in his glass case, Robert's legend continues to grow, a reminder that sometimes it isn't the monster under your bed you should fear, but the toy sitting quietly in the corner. So, if you were standing in front of Robert's case at the museum, would you risk snapping a photo without asking?
Yep.
Or would you follow the rules and politely ask his permission first?
Nope.
I would not. to ask.
I'm straight up taking a picture. I am
would
not
ask.
asking.
I'm sorry. I would ask.
But see, at that point in time, I would have my phone in my hand, not thinking of asking, and would just take the picture. That's the thing.
One of the reasons is Tina, who I work with, she's seen him multiple times. And there's there's letters strewn across the whole room, like on the wall, like asking him for forgiveness pretty much, because after they left, weird things were happening.
I would just say it's my last name. The bad luck is because of my last name. It's not because of the doll. It's because of the last name.
I'd have to agree with Lyndsay. It's like you're there, you're on vacation most of the time, you're excited to see this, so you snap a picture. You're not thinking, oh, this fucking toy right here is going to cause me curses. And you're just like, oh,
Right.
Sweet, look what I'm checking out.
But
Yeah.
now you know, though. So
Well, yeah, like...
Even if I know now, I'll still probably go and still take a picture of the thing and
Exactly,
ask
because I
him.
mean, I'm one of those, I got to see it to believe it. Like, I
Yeah.
want to know. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say all these people are right and every single one of them were cursed. And yeah, the stuff that happened could have just been coincidental, but who knows until
Yeah.
you go find out for yourself.
Yeah,
It's a big risk, but I'm here for it.
true.
So we're going to Key West.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I want to go and
And we're
see
going
him.
to the Lorraine house. Well,
I
Warren
wanna go
house.
see that too. But I would,
The Warren's warden.
I'd be too scared to take a picture.
I'll touch all of the items in the occult museum.
I'll snatch him out of that case and take him to Annabelle.
Just let me
All three of us go on a
Touch.
play date.
Oh, God.
one of the objects in that house.
I want to see that little toy box.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That thing
yeah.
was cool.
And that mirror.
It wasn't a toy box. Was it like a little circus tent? And he cranked it and he
It was
opened
some
up the
type of
thing and she was
jewelry
like
box, right?
looking at
Or
it.
Oh
in the
no,
mirror.
that was it. Was like a
toy box.
yeah. And when she would crank it,
Mm-hmm.
it had the little clown thing
Yeah.
that came up and down, and then it had the
clowns.
mirror.
And
Yeah,
he kept
yeah.
telling her, I see her in the mirror. And she's like,
Yeah, she looks back and she finally sees the little boy in the mirror.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would want to play with that. Or
Yes.
I would.
or
Clapping monkey.
I was
Yeah.
We have that clapping
We
monkey
have
on the
2
shelf.
clapping monkeys.
And they do clap by themselves sometimes because they've been wound up so wrong that they didn't get a chance to undo. So you'll hear
Yeah, they're creepy.
Bria be like, it's clapping again. I'm like, yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I still kind of smacked myself in the back of the head for not getting that insane asylum thing from that Oddities Expo that we went to.
That was a
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
I should have bought that. It was $80. I should have bought it.
know.
I
That
know.
monkey was 50.
I told her
know.
I want to save like $2,000 because I'm gonna blow it on just random shit. Like I want to start, especially when we get the studio. I want cool stuff behind me when
Yeah.
we start
That
video.
would be awesome.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Definitely.
Fun, creepy, cool stuff.
Even different styles of like dark art of the main photo for Veil of Echoes. All three of us in just like Tim Burton style. Or,
Oh, that would be cool to
That
see
would
Tim
be
Burton
cool.
style.
That would be cool.
Tim Burton's cool anyway.
He is cool. But I also wanted to mention, I know the doll, Robert, he was given to the family, but
by who?
we didn't put it in there. It was gifted by, I guess, one of their servants.
Oh, so
The
it was
family.
cursed.
Yeah. She
'Cause-
apparently used voodoo to curse the doll for revenge against them. So that's the story behind it.
Don't accept dolls.
She's probably like, here you go.
So what you're telling me is every single doll on this planet is fucked up.
Probably.
All right.
Well, only if it's
Don't receive
gifted
them as
from
a gift.
only if it's gifted from one of your workers after you treated them poorly.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where that, for apparently his, yeah, it's cursed because of that.
Cursed.
But, anyways. At first, it looks harmless. A small wooden wine cabinet. Its hinges tarnished. Its wood scarred with age. But the closer you get, the less ordinary it feels. The air around it grows heavier. A sour, acrid stench seeps from its seams. Cat urine one moment, wilting jasmine the next. Some swear they hear whispers from within, words in a language they don't understand. Others claim shadows crawl along the walls when the box is near. And always that same suffocating pressure, like something inside is waiting for someone reckless enough to lift the lid.
Me.
It's like Pandora's box.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. Ugh. The box first appeared in the late 1990s, purchased at an estate sale, and later passed to an antiques dealer named Kevin Mannis. Almost immediately, Mannis said strange things began to happen. Lights shattered without cause, cold drafts swept through his home. And then came the dreams. Mannis swore that night after night he was haunted by the same figure, a hideous old woman with sunken eyes and a twisted body, standing at his bedside. Each night, she drew closer. When he opened the box, Mannis found bizarre objects tucked inside. 2 1920s pennies, locks of blonde and brown hair, a dried rosebud, a golden goblet, a granite carving inscribed with the Hebrew word shalom, and a candle holder shaped like an octopus. To some, these were signs of ritual magic, offerings meant to keep something bound within the box. Every new owner who took the Dybbuk Box home claimed it brought chaos with it. Hair falling out in clumps, sudden choking coughs, strange rashes that appeared overnight. One man said his entire house filled with insects within hours of bringing the box inside. Mannis himself eventually sold it on eBay in 2001, describing it as cursed and begging bidders to take it with caution. The story went viral, cementing the Dybbuk Box as one of the most haunting objects in modern history. The box eventually found its way into the hands of paranormal investigator Zach Baggins, who displayed it at his haunted museum in Las Vegas. Even behind glass, visitors report nausea, dizziness, and overwhelmed dread. Baggins himself has said the darkness radiating from it is unlike anything else he's encountered. In 2018, rapper Post Malone visited the museum with Baggins. He touched the box, and weeks later, his life spiraled. First, his private plane blew 2 tires on takeoff, forcing an emergency landing. Days later, he was involved in a serious car accident. Weeks after that, his home was broken into. To fans, it was no coincidence. The box had marked him. Even Hollywood wasn't safe. During the filming of The Possession in 2012, it was a movie based on the Dybbuk Box. Lights exploded on set, and crew reported bad luck spreading through production. Then a mysterious fire broke out, destroying the entire prop storage unit where the replica box was kept. So if someone handed you the Dybbuk Box, humming with whispers and stinking of rot, would curiosity tempt you to open it, or would you slam the lid shut and never touch it again?
Open it.
I know.
Open it.
Yeah,
It
gives me the creeps.
You can't look at a box and not say, I want to know what's in the box.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Can you imagine opening it and just seeing what those random pennies, hair? I'm like, okay, this is some sort of black
I would
magic.
just be like, the fuck was this person doing?
Yeah, I know.
I'd be like, what the fuck are the pennies for, man? Were they like a peace offering?
I know.
We do know most witches collect locks of hair to curse whoever the locks belong to
Yeah.
or control them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd still open it.
Yeah, because, I mean, like we said earlier, I'm a creature of curiosity. If I'm hearing voices come from the box, I want to open the box.
Yep.
I am too. I don't know. I guess I'd have to be given to it, and then in that moment, decide what I decide to do. I don't know. But it's creepy.
The boy's eyes are the first thing you notice. Wet, glassy, brimming with tears that seem far too real for paint and canvas. His cheeks are streaked with sorrow, his lips pressed tight as if holding back a sob. The longer you stare, the heavier the air feels. His gaze follows, pleading, accusing. And if you look long enough, you could swear you see those tiny flames reflected in his tears. Flames that aren't really there. Flames that never really seem to leave him. In the 1950s and 60s, prints of the crying boy were mass-produced in Britain, sold cheaply in department stores, and hung in countless homes. It was just sentimental wall art at first. But then the house fires began. House after house was gutted by flames, reduced to smoldering rubble, and yet again and again, firefighters reported the same chilling detail. The crying boy survived. His frame blackened, his color soot streaked, but his sad little face intact, staring out from the ashes as though mocking the destruction around him. Whispers spread quickly. Firefighters themselves warned people not to hang the painting in their homes. Some refused to keep copies altogether, claiming they had seen too many times where the painting survived where nothing else did. Survivors of the fire swore his expression seemed darker afterwards, his painted tears more pronounced, as if he had witnessed the flames and wept harder for them. Some even claimed the boy's eyes flickered with tiny flames when light hit the canvas, reflections of fires that weren't there. Others described streaks of bad luck that followed, illness, financial ruin, accidents, beginning soon after the painting was hung. In 1985, the legend had grown so strong that the Sun newspaper began a campaign to destroy the prints. Hundreds were sent in, burned in a massive bonfire. But journalists whispered that even then, the paintings resisted, curling at the edges, charring, but refusing to catch fire completely. Theories about the boy's identity only made things creepier. Some believed he was an orphan whose parents died in a blaze, his sorrow and rage bound to every copy. Others claimed the artist himself had cursed the painting, ensuring the boy's grief would follow anyone who dared to hang them on their wall. So if you guys stumbled across the crying boy in a thrift store, like Goodwill or something, would you dare hang it in your living rooms or would you leave it behind?
You know, I would probably grab it.
I would grab it. I'd grab it.
But yeah, I don't know.
Because again, I want to know if this shit actually happens. I got to know if this shit actually happens.
I get that. I mean, I buy weird stuff at antique stores.
Tell me
all
what the
time.
price tag is.
If it's $2, I'm taking it.
Well, they said there was multiple copies of it.
That kept burning and curling at the edges but wouldn't set aflame.
See, to me, that's not creepy.
Yeah, it's not creepy, but why doesn't it burn?
Maybe because it just doesn't want to. It just doesn't want to. It's like, fuck you. I don't want to burn.
Yeah.
It's made on Teflon.
It's made on aluminum foil.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it'd definitely be interesting. The one painting that haunts me about a boy is that one your mom keeps up. I think it's still in the basement.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't even know what that one's called.
Me neither, but
I've seen it a few times at other places.
you always walk
antique
by it and you're like,
stores.
man, what's going on with you?
Yeah. That's a weird one.
Okay. At first glance, it looks like nothing. A plain wooden chair. Its seat worn smooth from centuries of use. The legs carved simple, unremarkable. But step too close, and the air changes. The wood seems colder than it should be. The pub lights dim just slightly, and suddenly, the chair feels less like furniture, and more like something alive. Local whispers that when you sit, a chill crawls up your spine, like invisible hands gripping your shoulders, holding you in place. Some say, if you run your hand just above the seat without sitting, you'll feel the air colder there than anywhere else in the room. Like the wood itself remembers every death. Some swear they hear a voice, faint and mocking, breathing against their ear. Death will come. And for centuries, it has. The story begins in 1702 with Thomas Busby, a petty thief, a drunk, and a murderer. After killing his father-in-law in a violent rage, Busby was sentenced to hang. But before his execution, he demanded one last pint of ale at his favorite pub in Thirsk, North Yorkshire. Sitting in his favorite chair, He drained his glass and declared, "May sudden death come to anyone who dare sit in my chair." Busby was hanged soon after, and the chair never sat empty again. The curse began almost immediately. Farmers, workmen, and travelers who laughed at the story and sat in the chair soon found themselves dead within hours. Their ends were violent and unexpected. Falls, crashes, sudden illness. Locals began to believe Busby had bound his rage and perhaps his spirit into the wood of the chair itself. Over the centuries, the story multiplied. During World War II, airmen from a nearby base dared each other to sit in the chair. Many never returned from their bombing runs. A chimney sweep stopped for a pint, rested in the chair, and fell to his death later that day. A delivery man sat while having lunch at the pub. Hours later, his truck veered off the road, killing him instantly. Even builders, roofers, and laborers who only sat for a moment were found dead in strange accidents not long after. By the 1970s, the pub landlord had seen enough. Too many young men, too many coincidences. People dared each other to sit, laughed, and paid the price. Finally, in 1978, the chair was donated to the Thrift Museum, but no one wanted to take chances. It was even hung high on the wall, far out of reach, where no one could ever sit in it again. Even there, it seems to radiate something. Staff refused to touch it longer than necessary. Visitors standing beneath it describe a crushing heaviness, as though the chair itself is waiting for someone foolish enough to bring it back down. If you walked into a pub, that old pub, if you walked into that old pub and saw Busby's chair sitting in the corner, would curiosity tempt you to sit and test the curse? Or would you back away, leaving the chair to wait for its next victim?
My fucking ass is sitting in it.
I already know Lyndsay's answer.
I'm sitting in it. Yep. I'm sitting in it. Again, don't tell me not to do something, because I'm going to do it. Like, don't tell me to open up Annabelle's box. I'm going to do it. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, give me the damn keys. Let me take her out.
I'm like, all right, here's the chair. You're technically or supposedly die after you sit in it. Like,
here
you go.
Lower the fucking chair down. Lower it down. I'll sit in it right now, and I'll show you guys that tomorrow I'll be alive.
Yeah.
Knowing my luck, though, I wouldn't be. So maybe I shouldn't push my luck.
Maybe I shouldn't push my. I don't know. Like, it just depends how I feel in the moment.
I would sit in it.
Like, part of me, no. But then I'm like with the painting, I would probably buy that.
Well, it's kind of like when we went to the Missouri State Penitentiary. We both sat in the...
Yeah, we did.
The
gas chamber.
Yeah, in the execution chamber.
That gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, but as I'm sitting there smiling with my thumbs up...
But there wasn't anything saying you were going to die or be hurt.
No, but I'm sitting in a gas chamber with my two thumbs up with a big ass smile on my face. People are probably like, what the fuck is wrong with this one? Yeah. They're like, she's not normal.
Casey wouldn't even go in there.
No, she wouldn't. She was not going in there. She was like, hell to the no.
Goosebumps.
I'm just curious to how many people came into this pub not knowing the curse and just sat in the chair, or is it one of those be warned things that as soon as someone came in, they're like, hey man, I'm going to let you know now, that chair's open, but...
It's like, if you want to sit in that chair, you're more than welcome to, but you might die tomorrow, so...
Yeah, everyone who's ever sat in that chair died. Oh.
You want to take that risk?
You're going to have to figure it out.
I know he's a thief, a murderer, a drunk. Like...
Apparently some kind of fucking warlock, because he put a curse on it. But that's just another thing. We're going to have to go fucking sit in the chair, Annabelle on one leg.
Again.
Robert on the other.
The painting hanging behind me.
With the painting behind, sitting in the chair, Annabelle on one leg, Robert on the other.
Just looking like a normal family photo.
Again, it reminds me when he said, "May sudden death come to anyone who dares to sit in my chair." You know,
But then
Fuck your chair, bro.
But then and right there, they should have told him none of those deaths were sudden. All of those things happened after they left the bar. There's one guy that fell suddenly to death, and that was, I still think he has made his way out of the pub. So that tells me that it seems more coincidental. Like, yeah, it sucks. You guys sat in a chair that was supposedly cursed by the owner who was a murderer. But as far as I've seen, no one died in the place where they sat in the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one of those urban legends, folklore that linger.
I mean, you're just going to have to sit in it, and hopefully the next day you're just like, oh, man.
Either you wake up or you don't.
My question is it because they got out of the chair? Because it doesn't seem like whoever sat there, no one was there long, like maybe a lunch period.
Ugh, yeah.
They were there for their half-hour lunch.
Creepy.
Mm-hmm. Because it said a bunch of things about workers and laborers, roofers, all of them. They just came in for a bite or a drink, sat down, and then most of them died on the job. That happens consistently to this day.
Yeah, it's just the
I'm sitting.
connection to it. Yeah.
Dolls that move when no one is looking. Paintings that refuse to burn. A chair that whispers death to anyone who dares to sit. A box filled with whispers and rot. These aren't just stories. They're reminders. Ordinary objects, the things we trust, can sometimes become vessels for something else. Something darker. So tonight, as you blow out the candles and turn off the lights, ask yourself, if one of these cursed objects was in front of you, would you dare touch it? Or would you step back knowing some things are never meant to be held?
And that wraps up our very first Halloween treat mini-sode. We'll be back next Wednesday with another haunted curiosity to keep the shadows close as Halloween night approaches. If you enjoyed tonight's stories, don't forget to follow Veil of Echoes on your favorite podcast app, leave us a review, and share this episode with someone who loves a good scare. And tell us, which haunted object tonight unsettled you the most? Let us know on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. Your answer just might echo into a future episode. Until next time, keep your ears open.
And the veil closed.